what are the things that you see day to day with your students that like you wish could maybe change like going forward and to make their lives easier and also better?
Yeah, obviously this is every district, but budget, losing teachers and like not having consistency. Like that's the key thing is consistency for the kids, especially
Sure.
at that age. Like when there's a different pair or whatever in every couple of weeks, like they can't get acclimated. So like at the higher levels, it's like parents trying to like tell you what to teach. Like I know that happens in Ludlow a lot too, where if you teach one thing, 50% of the parents are going to be mad, but if you teach the other thing, then the other half are going to be mad, like,
right.
like let the teachers do their jobs, I know there's a lot of talk, like teachers, like not grooming kids, but like pulling kids away from their parents. And I mean, my thing is like, if your kid feels more comfortable with a teacher than you,
What's that saying?
It's time for mirror. It's time to look in the mirror,
Fair,
and,
absolutely. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen.
No,
but I don't buy the narrative. I just don't.
It's happening nationwide, and
our kids are being groomed to become. I know this is more of a conservative, like narrative talking point. That kids are being groomed to be transgender, and kids are being groomed to. And we're all teaching them critical race theory and all these things that just really aren't happening.
No,
and I hope that the narrative switches back to in a different way, where it's like, okay, maybe if you guys actually just walked into a classroom and like observe what was going on, like that would help people to understand what's going on. Because I would never, and here's the thing, like it's the same thing as like, I don't know what happens day to day in a hospital, for example. Right. So it's like for me to go out there and say, oh, we need reforms in our hospitals because of X, Y, and Z. If I just made shit up or heard some talking point,
you're not on the ground floor of it anyway.
I don't know what's going on. So how would I know? So I feel like a lot of these people that are talking about educational reform in those ways don't even really understand or know what's going on.
No, definitely. And I mean, the people talking about like critical race theory, if you ask them what it is, they have no idea. Like they don't know. They're like, oh well, because they heard it on Fox News. It's all like it's just propaganda that gets. And I get it. Like people are worried about their kids, but
no, 100%.
I mean, you can't let the media twist your mind like that.
Yeah, and not to get
use some critical thinking, like
right. Not to get super political about it, but it's just the truth that like these sort of talking points are dangerous because then it affects people like you and me who. I would honestly say that I think 90% of teachers, maybe that's a little high, but I think that there's I'll say the majority of teachers are overall doing the best that they can. Yeah. And I don't, even in my own school, I can only speak from my own experience, but I don't know of any teacher that's really spewing anything that I would consider like, okay, that's a little
I've never seen
either side,
either
right?
side. No,
I don't see that happening.
The bad teachers don't give a fuck about the kids. Like, there's definitely that end that I see. Right. But I definitely don't see anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else. Like obviously there's bad teachers out there. Like I will be the first to acknowledge that yes, there are bad teachers. Like just like there's bad cops, just like there's bad doctors. Like it's a thing, right? But to sit here and
I don't think it's systemic. Like
no, I don't think there's any sort of systemic sort of problem in education outside of the fact that like you were saying, like budget is really important and it matters. Like that, those types of things, like in order to, have programs in place for kids that, places they can go after school and things they can be a part of, and even just to have the necessary materials and building structure and all that.
I mean, that's how you keep kids out of trouble is, like after school programs and sports and all that. Like I know I was a much better kid during football season when I had something to do and consequences if I did the wrong thing,
Fair enough.